Hey everyone, I just tried to record this and had the microphone turned off, so hopefully this will go better. But anyway, I have a kind of a love-hate relationship with AI products, as I've mentioned in the past. I like playing with LLMs. I've tried my hand at AI video, AI images. I've even tried to clone my voice because I tend to be a bit of a mushmouth when I'm doing these narrations, and it takes a lot of editing to get something that's reasonably good. So I was thinking maybe I could use a clone of my voice, which would give me more control, but it turned out badly. So anyway, the thing I want to about today is basically AI images. And in particular, I use them for backgrounds, for desktop wallpapers. I know you can get desktop wallpapers everywhere, but this is a kind of a fun way to do it. It's free. You don't have to sign up for anything. It's quick. And it gives you a little bit of expression. You can kind of make stuff the way you want it. This here is one I created, or at least the AI created for me. Here are some other ones that I've got handy. This guy here is another one. Let's see, this one. This one. You can see most of these are sort of landscapes or imaginary, imaginary places. Another one, sort of a, sitting by the river. There's another one, the dark lake. There's another one there. I like this one pretty well too. It's kind of a cool one. And as you can see, most of these are pretty realistic. I mean, it doesn't have to be. You can make them, here's a pretty realistic one there. That's another one. You don't have to make them realistic. It can be whatever. So what I use to do these is if you go to the huggingface.co site, and it's huggingface.co, not huggingface.com. I will show you the link here in a minute. But if you go there and go to the spaces section, and then search for Flux, Flux, and it's Flux Schnell is the one you want, this one right here. Click on that. Comes up with a very straightforward interface. Your prompt goes here, and then your image will appear here. So if you go into advanced settings, there are a couple of things here. If you notice, it's set to randomize seed by default, meaning that when you generate images with these things, it starts off at a random number seed that gives it something to work with, then it carries on from there. If you leave it randomized, each generation that you make will be significantly different from the other one. They'll still keep generally to the prompt, but they'll be noticeably different. If you change this, if you unselect the randomized part and put in a seed value here, it could be anything, 1, 5, 250,000, whatever, a number. It will tend to regenerate the ones that will look very similar to each other. I usually just leave it randomized. It's more fun that way. For my purposes, I changed the resolution to 1920 by 1080, which is a sort of standard high definition desktop size. I think this goes to 1088. It doesn't go to 1080 for some reason, but that's fine. Okay. So my prompt here is a winding stream flows through a grassy meadow, patches of wildflowers, realistic, wide-angle lens, golden hour. Okay. So hit run. And depending how busy it'll be, you might have to wait a moment for the GPU to become available. And the number of times you can do this in a day also varies a little. Usually it's about a dozen. Sometimes it's a little less, sometimes it's more. I think it depends just on how busy they are. So this is okay. That's fine. It's got a little bit of wildflowers and it's kind of golden hour. You can see the shadows are kind of long. Let's try it again. Let's see if we can get another one. And bear in mind, this is the same prompt, so we'll see how different the next one is. And as I said, you don't have to sign up for anything here or do anything like that. This is actually kind of slow today. It must be busy this morning. There you go. There's another one there. And you can download these, and they look pretty good when you download them. So just download it real quick. It saves as the .webp format, which is fine. You can, convert it to something else if you want. Let's see. It's got to look at it full size. So there you go. That's cute. There's some wildflowers. It's kind of golden hour. Little stream meanders through the tufts of grass. Very nice. So let me go over a couple of tips here on how to actually prompt these things to get, decent results. So as I said, the site is huggingface.co, not .com. That's a different site. The browser may tend to try and correct it to .com, but it's .co. And that's the actual address. I'll put that in the video description below. So when you're doing this, be specific and descriptive. Clearly describe the subject, environment, and the context. For example, a majestic Bengal tiger stalking through a lush rainforest dappled with sunlight. And use at least, 3 words, and avoid vague terms like generate or create. It's going to do that anyway, so you're just adding superfluous verbiage there. Include the key elements like the subject, environment, the lighting, colors, and the mood, things like that. Define the main focus of the image, describe the setting or background. Specify time of day, shadows, or other lighting effects. Golden hour is one I use quite a bit, and I did it in the example I showed. Mention specific hues or palettes, like muted colors or blue tinge or hazy or things like that. You can even add emotional or atmospheric descriptors like serene or dramatic. Use natural language, write in full sentences or detailed phrases rather than simple keyword lists, like a curious red fox exploring a misty autumn forest at dawn. And you'll notice in most of these, I just do landscapes. I don't need to see a bunch of anime girls. Stop meaning to do that if you want, but that's just my thing. You can specify the art style, mention the artistic approaches as watercolor, pencil sketch, photorealistic, anime style, charcoal, whatever. Just experiment with it. See what you can actually use. Include the camera angles as a wide shot, a close-up, telephoto, or, framing details to guide the eye's interpretation. You can be fairly specific. In Flux, you can actually add text too. That's kind of hit or miss. I find it's mostly successful. You can just put, add the term you want to write out in quotes and tell it that's what you want, and it'll do it. 9 times out of 10 it'll be pretty good. You can also include terms like bokeh to unfocus the background. Bokeh is just a term we have. The subject is kind of close up and then the background is thrown out of focus. Or golden hour, like I mentioned, to mimic that time of day when the sun is low and the shadows are long, which is a favorite used by a lot of sort of landscape type photographers. You can experiment with prompt length too. As far as I've found, Flux seems to be better at like medium, not too long, but not real short and terse. So you can fiddle around with it. Different products like this do different things. They respond differently to different prompts. Some of them like really long, involved, flowery prompts to get them to do stuff. If you leave the randomized function enabled as is by default, you'll get slightly different results each time. In fact, sometimes wildly different results each time that you generate from the same prompt. So it's worthwhile doing. If you're not sure you like the first one, do another couple and see if there's a better one in there. One thing about Flux is once you've done an image, if you think you might want to save it, go ahead and save it anyway, because if you generate the next one, that first one's gone. As far as I know, there's no way to get back to the first one. So if you kind of want to do 3, do one, save it, do the next one, save it, do the next one, save it, and then you can kind of sort them out later. So that's really it. I would encourage you to try this. I mean, it's free. You don't have to sign up. You don't have to, use your Google account or anything. Just there are other, softwares like this that you can use for free, but usually you have to sign in with a Google account. This one you do not. It's usually available. I've only had a couple of times where it's really busy and it's kind of, hard to get into, but mostly it's fine. And it gives good results. Flux is one of the better, especially for just like landscape stuff and realistic stuff. It's really pretty cool. have a go, make some cool wallpapers, and I'll catch you next time. So that's another one in the can. If you find this video interesting or informative, please consider liking and subscribing. And remember, be excellent to each other.